Hey YouTube, what's going on? Back with some new content. Quarantine's coming to an end. Hoping to get outside shooting again soon. Figured I would post up a little bit on outdoor arrow selection, what I'm shooting and why, and some other tips and tricks. So I'm using the Carbon Express Nano Extremes. Very good arrow. This is one of their tri-spine arrows. Works really well. Designed for a recurve. Works really good. Shooting these 28 3/4. That's knocked to carbon. Running the Eli or Ellie vein S3s. I think these are somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 millimeters long, relatively low profile. I like these a lot. They're very flexible veins, so if they get a little bit of contact, you don't see much bad reactions from that. But they are very durable. I don't have the cracking that some brands have a problem with. Been using them now for a couple of years. Really like them. Come in a variety of colors. Good stuff. Knock of choice personally is the Biter asymmetrical number 2s. This is a pin out knock. So I'm using the pin out. So I have a pin knock bushing in here. The knock itself goes on the pin, obviously, but also wraps slightly around the arrow, about a little over a millimeter or two, and really provides some good protection on the back end. Makes for it's a very durable knock. I've not had problems with let's say cracking, inadvertent cracking at least, of these knocks. Adds some good protection, especially with the pin. On the front end or business end, I am running the 110 grain. These are the tool steel points that Carbon Express makes. Tip for some people, and something I'm playing with at the moment, because I'm sitting a little bit on the stiff side with this arrow. I wanted to try to weaken it up, but that's pretty much about the heaviest tip they make. But one thing you can do is, I've fletched some up now, or set some up with their the tungsten tips. So what that does, I think I've got some here. The tungsten, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on here. If you look there, you can see it's about 1/4 inch shorter. So for the same weight, 1/4 inch shorter shank. What that does for you is it is going not quite as far into the arrow. It actually somewhat dynamically weakens the arrow. Same phenomenon, I don't have one handy, but if you had the stainless tips that Carbon Express makes, they gain about yet another 1/4 inch longer. So they can effectively stiffen the arrow for the same weight. So you can keep with the same point weight and potentially impact your dynamic stiffness, bare shaft readings downrange a little bit. I'm going to play with this, hopefully if we get some break in this weather. It's been raining here lately, and go back out and see if these maybe just group just a little better. Just a little tip, that's something you'll do. Also wanted to say, one of the things I really like about Carbon Express arrows is the consistency. Not just within the dozen, that should be a given for any manufacturer, but the batch to batch quality, consistency in spine and weight. You'll see, if you can see these two arrows, this one is a relatively newer batch, this is an old batch. I have a mixed dozen, or excuse me, a mixed batch of arrows from 2 different dozens. And the 2 different dozens are more than a year apart from the purchase date. And yet, they shoot the same, they're within like 4 grains in weight, spine is the same, they tune the same, just batch to batch consistency that is unmatched, I think. You can't, you don't want to find an arrow you really like, and then the next dozen you buy shoots completely different, and you can't mix the arrows together. You got to shoot them separately, or group shoot them. With these ones, the Carbon Express, they're a name you can trust. They're going to have your arrow to arrow, group to group, batch to batch consistency. Take care, guys. Shoot straight, shoot strong.